Salaam Nerds is brought to you by halalshirts.com, where you can find fun novelty gifts for your Muslim friends. While you're at it, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel.
Yo, Salaam Nerds! It's your boy Neebz, aka Watch with Neebz, and I'm here with my co-host Jazz, aka Flaming Hot Jazz Cheetos.
Flaming Hot Jazz Cheetos. Wow, did you just come up with that because that was like right next to you? Like,
You know, in that movie, what do you call it? The one with Kevin Spacey, where he's I forget what it's called, but like he just like thinks of names like that are in the room, and he just points it out. The Unusual Suspects. The Usual
That's the
Suspects.
one. Mm-hmm.
That's the one. But no, she actually eats Flaming Hot Cheetos in the show.
Yeah.
Oh, because of chopsticks. And
You bought that prop specifically for this episode, or did you have that already?
Don't hate on my production value. We're moving up. We're investing.
we're moving
in
up.
the show.
Where are the chopsticks, sir?
Yeah, dude.
I don't have chopsticks, but I have the toothpicks. I can just eat it with this. It works. You just
Neebz, I need you to show me how this works because I'm having a hard time visualizing.
Look, you take two of these and then you just like put them together and then you just like kind of like chopsticks.
You're really continuing with this. Wow.
And then afterwards you can clean your teeth with it.
God.
I'm dead.
All right. Let's introduce our guest. I want to introduce one of my favorite TikTokers, Shiv. She does a lot of Marvel stuff. I met her when I started doing Miss Marvel stuff. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Hi. My name
Something
is
that you did. Something you didn't tell on the last episode.
Ooh, let's see. I don't read Marvel comics. I'm going to start off this way so that people don't come for me in the comments. But I'm a huge MCU fan, die hard. And I so far love SheHulk. And I don't think I'm going to be doing like a week by week episode talking about it like I did with Miss Marvel, just because I like personally connected to that show. But I'm really, really excited for this one because of all of the female gaze and perspective that we were going to get from it.
Yeah, man, the female gay, the female straights, all of them.
God. The corniness level on this episode, you just took it off a notch, huh? Yeah.
No. But you know,
No comment.
back to the Miss Marvel thing. What I really, really liked about what you did with Miss Marvel is you would break down the music every episode, which I thought was really, really cool. So I really liked that. I would go back and listen to the music and be like, oh, that's where that's from, which was really, really cool. I definitely enjoyed that. So let's get down to business. Just like She-Hulk.
Lawyering,
Just like
yeah.
She-Hulk, it went down to business. They went through that origin story so quick. They're like, you know what, we gotta make this work, man. We got 9 episodes. We gotta jump into it. What do you guys think about that quick origin story?
I do respect it. It's like, oh, we were in a car accident. Blood went in me. I am now part Hulk. Great. I'm like, all right, I believe it. That makes sense. It's plausible in a universe like this. Cool. Let's keep going.
Yeah, and I like that it was like very action focused. Like it didn't really like have like a bunch of conversations that just like bogged down our time. It just went from like action scene to action scene, which made it like really engaging.
Yeah, I feel like it really set the tone for the show. Be like, listen, you know what kind of show this is going to be, man. Let's get this stuff out of the way. Even though when she starts breaking the fourth wall right in the beginning, she's like, yeah, you guys are not going to pay attention until we tell you this part. So here it is. And I thought that was really, really funny, just calling out like the fans and like, all right, come on, that's not really why you're here. So it was really, really cool. I enjoyed that.
It's fair because let's be real, we would not.
Yeah.
They're correct in their assumption there.
I know. I personally love the fourth wall break. I think that's really, really cool. What do you guys think about it?
I worry that if it gets redundant, it'll get a little bit cringe because there are movies that have done that in the past. Like most recently, if you watched Persuasion on Netflix, it's a Jane Austen adaptation, and like it's terrible because they break the fourth wall so many times. From what I've seen so far in this show and like the trailers and all the clips that have released of the fourth wall break, I love it because it's very intentional in its use. Because I do feel like it is directed to these like toxic male fans that are like, here,
Yeah.
straight to you because you clearly don't care and don't want to be here. So like, let's get this out of the way, you know?
They need their handheld.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
need their handheld through the entire thing. I also actually really like it because this reminds me a lot of The Emperor's New Groove, like the movie itself, when Cusco
Boom,
kept
baby.
breaking. Yeah, exactly. Like it was entertaining, it was funny, and it worked. And I know at the time it was a box office failure, but like now there's a cult following for it, so I like it.
It's
I'm
one of
digging
my
it.
favorites. I love that movie. It's so funny. And yeah, you're right. It definitely has that vibe. That's the wrong lever. One of my favorite things. I did like the fact that when she finds herself retransformed into a person in the woods, and then she goes to this like bar. All these women in the bathroom come and they like give her like makeup and give her clothes and all this stuff. And I thought that was really, really cool. Is that what it's really like? Is female bathrooms that supportive? Because that's amazing. That's wonderful.
What's it like? Yeah, I think it's definitely if you're crying or if she was hurt, right? And that's why they went into like protection mode, which I think is very, very accurate. Like if I saw someone crying and I didn't know them, I'd straight up just be like, hey, you're in the bathroom crying, like let's talk about it, like this is really sad. But I love the so far the tone of the show, because of the female perspective, is what sets it apart from what we've seen in the MCU so far, but also what makes it so freaking special. And I love that they're really trying to get this like female audience into the MCU, because obviously thus far it has been very male centric and stroking a lot of male,
Egos is the word you're looking for.
Thank you for completing that sentence.
So I don't know. I think that like that moment that we get to see, there's going to be so many more like beautiful stuff like that, or like just things where she's like, you're mansplaining this to me, like shut up, where I want to keep seeing that level of humor from her that's like so bitingly harsh. I love it.
I think there's a lot of cool subtle things in there too. Like there was a scene where like, oh, we need to like engage your emotions, and her first thought was, oh, put on a Pixar movie like Inside Out. I love when Bing Bong gets like, it's like that's emotional.
Bing bong.
Yeah. So like it's funny because like for women, like if you say emotional, they're thinking about like, oh, something sad or something happy. Men, you say emotional, they're thinking about fear and anger, right? So like when Hulk says it, he's talking about fear and anger when he says emotions. But when Jennifer hears it, she's thinking about like, oh, like a Pixar movie, like, oh, sadness and also happiness, which is so different between the two. I thought those cool little subtle things are really awesome.
Yeah. Well, before we go into emotions and everything that happened in that episode, I want to go back to the whole restroom thing, because that's really cool that a women's restroom is like that. Because in a guy's restroom, we don't talk to each other, we don't look at each other, we don't do anything, and like there's a rule like on the stalls. It's like if someone's in stall number 1 and they're total 5 stalls, you go stall number 5 after that. You stay as far apart as possible. If you're a third person coming in, you go stall 3. You don't go near 2 or 4. Like we have rules for this shit to avoid people in there. And so hearing the other side of that, I'm like, whoa. This is completely different.
It's like that episode of The Office when they like go into the women's restroom. There's like a couch and like it's all like super nice.
I don't know. Like, if a guy was in a bathroom and his clothes were torn up and he looked like he just got beat up and he was crying, what would you do, Jazz?
High five.
Jesus.
I would mind my business. I would mind my own business. Like I feel like for a guy, it's like you're sparing him his dignity. Like you're like, all right, man.
Right. High five. Like either you beat the shit out of a guy who deserved it, or high five because you lost. But you know what? Stand up tall.
But I guess that's the main difference, right? Is like that women probably have more sympathy in that situation versus a man would like, I'd rather protect your dignity, but like a woman would rather protect a woman,
Yeah, because men's egos are like fragile. So like, it's bad enough he got beat. Now you're gonna beat his like male fragility too.
Hell yeah, that's what men do. Like we just roast each other even in our worst situations. Like,
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
that's why I'm high fiving him. You lost. High five.
No, but it's really interesting when we start going into the part where she has to learn to control her anger. and she's like really good at it because basically she's like, I'm a woman and I've been doing this my whole life, and I'm like, yeah, that checks. That
Checks out.
That's all the explanation I need.
You're right.
And I think that it's like stuff like that that's making, I'm sure you've heard that it's like getting review bombed.
Yeah.
And like, to me, I'm just like, it's the fact that you're completely missing the point. Like, you're completely missing the humor of that situation, but also just how realistic what she's saying is. And that's why the show's not for you, but you should still be able to appreciate it because it's a perspective you've literally never even thought about, you know? Like,
yeah. Listen, if that line triggers you, maybe you're the people they're talking about. I hear that line and I'm like, okay, doesn't apply to me. Move on. Like,
yeah.
No, I don't ever want to be seen that way. I don't really think of myself that way, so it never really hurts me. You can bash me all you want. It doesn't feel like it applies to me. But the fact that they get so triggered that they want to review bomb, you're exactly the people they're talking about.
I think it was hilarious. Like, before the show was even out, they were review bombing it. I'm like, oh, my people, like, you know, IMDb or Google reviews or whoever, they're gonna like filter the shit out very quickly because it's not out yet. Like, if your comment is being posted before 2 or 3 a.m., we know you haven't seen it. Like,
but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. If you're gonna review bomb it, be smart. You're all picking ones. So like, just eliminate the ones. You gotta put the 3s in there, some 4s. Like, make it believable, man. You put
a couple
ones
2s.
First of all, you're giving men way too much credit. I don't know what you're thinking. You're thinking that thing about different numbers? Are you kidding me? Get out of here. Jesus. Right.
You're right. That's way too smart for us.
No. You think they went in with a plan, Neebz? They're like, this is the plan. We're going to review bomb. Like, no.
That's so funny.
We can barely coordinate a podcast with 2 guys. How do you think we're going to coordinate review bombing an entire show?
No, we're not smart enough to do that.
You're giving your people too much credit, dude. You're kind.
Oh man.
I think we should start this. I think females should start a revolution and just, you know, do the opposite of, what's the opposite of review bombing? Just reviewing? I don't know.
Being positive and uplifting.
Giving the show what it's due credit.
What's the opposite of a bomb? I don't know, like planting. Review planting.
Review seeding.
Review charity? I don't know. I think that we should start. You know, I like how when Trump had that rally and people bought the K-pop people bought out the tickets for the stadium. Like, we need to do something like that for SheHulk, dude. Show our support.
Good times. I also love like the K-pop crowd. Like when there was some extremely like misogynistic thing going on, and like it was with the hashtag. And so then what they did was they had a bunch of people dancing to like K-pop music with that hashtag up front. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
That's so funny.
Thing.
Well, shout out to them, man. We need more K-pop fans in the MCU.
100%.
We can rally them. I'm telling you. If the men got their shit together and review bombed, we can do much more and much better. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, man. We should. I don't know what we can do, but we should. We should figure it out. Okay, we got to figure out the opposite of review bombing, and we're gonna coin this phrase, and we're gonna say we figured it out on our podcast. Salaam nerds. I don't know. Damn. We'll figure it out. But like, people were also mad that like Hulk couldn't barely do yoga, and like Jennifer was able to do all this stuff. I was like, are you dumb? Like, just because you have muscles doesn't mean you're flexible and you can do these things. That's not how muscles work. You can't see a bodybuilder.
Have you all seen the videos of like the guy who's like really big muscles, looks like a cloud, and he can't like put his like 2 hands like that and touch like his arms like this?
I haven't, but I believe.
No, I've never seen it.
Yeah, so this guy's like jacked, like he has muscles on muscles, and he cannot like do that. But then like almost like every other normal person can. So no, being muscular does not mean you're flexible. I don't know why people think that.
The balance thing has to like do with being female. Like, I'm pretty sure that scientifically
you have a lower center of gravity because of birth. because of you have to give birth to a child, which we do not.
That was the whole theory. There wasn't like, oh, he's Hulk and he's muscular. You know, like it was literally like, look at who these people are. But like, there's all those TikTok trends too of like, I don't know if you've seen like the whole chair thing where like people put a chair between the wall and like that's the center of gravity thing too. Like, or like the push-up thing with men and women. Like, so I do like that we're probably going to see a little bit more of that, hopefully, if the Hulk appears back on this show. Just like the difference between their strength, because I really liked seeing that. Like, just side. It was really entertaining.
I like seeing that too, because even though the Hulk is obviously stronger than her, because like he threw that boulder into space basically, and then when he does the thunderclap, it's much stronger. But she's smart enough to know like, oh, well, you know what? You can clap stronger, but I can clap faster, and she does it in a way to throw him off. So it's not. It's just different. It's just different. She's a Hulk, but she's just using it in a different way, which is really, really cool.
Okay. So I went on IMDb, and I know it's not the most reputable source ever, but right now it somewhat is because the show's already out. She-Hulk will be in all 9 episodes, obviously, but so will Bruce Banner.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. Jennifer Walters and Bruce Banner will be in all 9 episodes, as well as Anthony Ramos. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, I just hope it doesn't take away from her show. Like, it's her show. I don't want all these cameos and stuff to take away from that. Yeah. But I'm still very excited for all of them. I think they're going to be really fun. But it's nice to see someone, whenever they come into this universe, they're playful. They're like whimsical, right? Like we've seen like the Netflix series of Daredevil. Dude's brooding, dude's in pain, the dude has a miserable life, he's got that Catholic guilt. I want to see him come on a show where he's just happy and he's just making jokes. And like it'd be nice to see a happy Daredevil.
From like other than the little bit we saw in Spider-Man No Way Home, which was like barely happy, but you know.
Yeah. No, for real. I don't know what else happened on that show. I remember one part where she didn't know how she was feeling because she thought she was getting angry. Turned out she was just hungry, which I'm like pretty accurate for women.
Very accurate, yeah. Confusing.
Accurate for women, accurate for men too. Like, grab a Snickers, bro.
I feel like men get cranky, but women get angry, and I think that's like the main difference between the two. Like, I feel like men throw temper tantrums when they are hungry, and women are just like, "Please feed me or I'll kill you." You know, like those are the two extremes.
I mean, I've been hangry before many, many times. It's a thing. I mean, I'm not even going to deny it. Like, it's all of us here at this point.
Fair. I don't know. You know what else I really liked? This is funny, but like, I love the fact when she knows she's about to turn into the Hulk, she takes off her shoes because she doesn't want to ruin them.
Bro, shoes are expensive for women. Oh my God.
They really are. But that scene was so iconic, and then she like kind of slowly changes back, and then she gets back in her shoes, and I'm like thinking, you know what? For the longest time, I always thought like dudes that were into feet were like creeps and weirdos, but like this may have awoken something in me because that scene was like.
Oh, Neebz.
I might have to apologize to some people who I thought were freaks.
Yikes. Jazz is literally lost for words right now. Wow.
Can we end the podcast?
That's it.
We're done. We're canceled now.
We're done.
That's the headline, though. Neebz loves feet. That's the new headline.
Wait, I look. I'm just saying. I always thought those people were weird, but after seeing the scene, I just have a little more. I just have to apologize to them. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
I don't know if that's exactly what you're saying, but yeah. I
can understand now. I can understand. I don't have those feelings, but I can understand.
This is amazing. Wow.
What's that meme? Where it's like a black hand and a white hand like this with thunder in the background. And it's like right now it's like Neebz, feet pick lovers, She-Hulk in the middle. Like
listen, we don't kink shame on this show, man. Didn't we learn that from the last week?
It was episode like 2 days ago.
Oh yeah, this was. Oh man.
She took off her shoes because, you know, like it happens in Jurassic World, the new Jurassic World series, where like running in heels, and how that's like a common trope for a lot of women is to like do action in like some type of heel.
Mhm.
So I thought that it was like about that because they're like, she obviously cannot fight. Obviously, she outgrows the shoes. That's the first thing. But like, she can't fight in heels, so that's why she took them off. Like, it's more realistic because a lot of movies like don't do that. They'll just be like, oh, she's running in heels, you know?
Yeah. It's really funny, but but the only thing about the show that I feel like that court scene should have been longer because we just got to see Jamil like for like 1 second. That was it. We needed more. I hope she comes back.
Yeah. Also, did you think that it was like too perfect that she like already knew how to like battle someone? I guess like she has been training with Bruce, but like it felt like she got rid of Jamila like so quick, like just within like a minute of time, and then it was just. I do agree that it was rushed the entire scene, but then she also just like bodied her in like in like a matter of seconds, and then that was it.
I feel like it might just be like she didn't expect it. She was like didn't think this person was a big deal, and then out of nowhere she hulks out and punches her, and it was more like a sucker punch maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe she and Banner duked it out a lot more than they showed us. And she knows how to fight now.
Yeah.
Or maybe she's always known how to fight because women take kickboxing classes, or maybe they were freaking.
This is true. I mean, she could just kill. Yeah, for sure.
Women take Brazilian jiu-jitsu, women take martial art, women take all these classes now. I go to these classes, women are there all the time. So she probably knows all this stuff. She probably knows how to fight more than Hulk.
Do you think that Jamila is the main villain of this show? Is that confirmed?
No, I don't think she is the main villain.
Okay.
I don't know who's going to be the main villain, but I don't think it's her.
Okay. Because like
Who
that was
could
the other
it be?
thing. Because like if she is one of the main villains, so like she's supposed to be powerful, and it feels like she just like got wrecked in like 4 seconds. So like, is she a threat? Like, you know.
Here's who I think is the main villain, because we've been seeing this a lot. Almost every Marvel show, the villain has been a government agency. WandaVision, government agency. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, government agency. Miss Marvel, government agency. Who else do we got? So I think the DoD or somebody, some kind of agency is going to be the main villain of this show. That's my theory.
I believe it.
Yeah, I can see that.
That tracks.
Yeah.
Jamila's just trying to throw us off our tracks. Just showing up with that wig and those shoes. Got it.
Also, I'm glad they fixed the CGI. People were complaining about the CGI. I think the CGI looks fine now. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't noticing like I wasn't pixel peeping or anything like that, but like I feel like it looked a lot better than the trailer, and it just looked.
Still peeping?
Yeah, I mean, it's a phrase for photographers, but yeah. So basically, if you like zoom in so much that you're like looking at the megapixels of like a photo.
I have never heard that. That is such a clever thing.
That's cool. Yeah, because like if you really do zoom into certain pictures, you can be like, oh, that's Photoshop. You can like see like, you know, like the lighting here doesn't track. Like
that's what it felt like when people were making the critiques in the first place, because it's like, what are you basing this off of? Have you animated SheHulk before that you know that it's supposed to look a certain way? You know, like you're just making the critique based off of the fact that like it doesn't look good to your eyes right now, but like I don't know. I think that the whole CGI argument was like so flawed in the first place. So debased.
Fair. No, I don't have a problem with it. I liked it. I'm really excited about the show. What are you guys excited to see? What's next?
I am always going to be excited to once again see Charlie Cox as Daredevil. Like, I know that's like, you know.
I told you not to be excited about Daredevil. Literally, there's a meme about it. Like.
Yeah, I know. But like, he's. I don't know why he's like close to me. It's like the weirdest thing. Like I identify with Charlie Cox as Daredevil. It's the dumbest thing. Yeah, the Catholic guilt, right? That's what it is. I don't know what it is, man. Like, it just is. Oh no, it looks like Shiv froze.
Yeah, I saw it froze.
Hey, you're back! Yay.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like I just want to see more different perspective. It's a different tone. It's a different comedy. I'm here for the comedy. I want to see more jokes. I wouldn't mind seeing more lawyering. Little suits action. A little,
hell yeah. I'm a 12B6 that argument right there, sir. I can't wait to see
what I thought was funny
like
when Hulk was like, "Oh, you either use Smart Hulk," and he was like, "I never used it." he was like, well, technically it's what is it, implied usage or something like that? And I was like, she lawyered him.
Tacit approval?
I thought that was funny.
I don't know what the actual phrase was, but tacit approval is what it would be.
Yeah, I think next episode we're gonna have a real life lawyer on the show, and we're gonna try to see if we can quiz them. We're gonna see how good of a law show this lawyer.
Good lawyer representation in the show. Yeah.
Listen, on this show we always care about representation, whether it's brown, black, or lawyers.
Oh God, I accept it.
What else is going to happen on the show? I really don't know. I actually really like about that show is I don't know what's going on, but I do like. I have read a lot of the She-Hulk comics, and it's really cool the way they show her partying and stuff because that's actually very accurate. Like She-Hulk is actually a party animal. She's someone who actually got turned down by a underwear model because he thought she didn't have enough depth. That's how like zany and party animal she is. She is quite the party person in the comics. So I wonder if they're gonna go into that. That's gonna be very interesting.
What?
Yeah,
She has.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
If you remember from the trailer, they like show her going on dates with multiple men and like having a sex life. So I'm actually very, very stoked for that part. Like you asked, like what we're most excited for. I'm most excited for her to be She-Hulk in public. And
Yeah.
because most of these Avengers are like closeted heroes, right? They don't get to like the whole point, like the whole argument she has with Bruce is that she doesn't get to be a lawyer and She-Hulk. And I get that now she gets to get the best of both worlds and like live life as She-Hulk. So I think that like that's what I'm most interested to see, like what dynamic that brings to the show and like into people's reality now that they're like actually integrated into society with an Avenger. Like that's like something we haven't really seen, So
Yeah.
that's exciting.
No, it's really interesting because, like, you're right. I want to see like the personal life of her because She-Hulk is also known to like date a lot of people and a lot of other superheroes too. I don't know if we're gonna see that. That might be really, really cool. But I remember like she used to live at Avengers Tower, and Tony and Captain America had to kick her out because she parties too much, right? So she is definitely. I hope. I wonder if we're gonna get into that. That's gonna be really fun to see. So I want to see her like really like going wild with her new powers and takes it too far, and then she has to like step back and be like, okay, I have some responsibility. I can't just have fun with these powers.
Didn't like She-Hulk date like Captain America and Iron Man throughout like the various years in the comics?
Definitely Iron Man. I don't know about Cap, but she also dated J. Jonah Jameson's son. I think that's probably the biggest love relation. And then who else? I don't know. There's a bunch of people, but yeah, man, I'm excited. I don't really have anything else for this episode. Anything else you guys want to say before we sign off?
Nope.
Wow, short, sweet, and to the point. I love it. I mean, it's good. Yeah. Only thing I want to say is like, thank you, Shiv, for coming on. I mean, this was great. Like, you're probably one of my favorite guests on this show so far.
Aw.
Like,
That's
it's fun. Like, you are the first person to actually ask us a question. I don't think any other guest has done that yet.
Wait, what was the question she asked us?
Not on this episode.
Yeah, but I think she's the first person to ever actually ask us a question. I don't remember like anyone else ever doing it. Like Neebz, can you think back to anyone?
No, that is a high compliment because we've had a good like 30 guests on our shows. So
Yeah,
that's a lot of
I
people.
was like, I wouldn't consider myself the best. Actually, looking at your roster, but I'll take the compliment for sure.
Yeah, you're up there. I mean, fine. You know what? Just because you said you're not the best, you're second best. Happy?
I'm glad. I'll take second best. Still top 3, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey.
For me, all I guess I like my children. I can't have a favorite. They're all great.
Shut up, Neebz.
Oh, brown, Neebz. You're just showing your brownness right now. My dad says that to me all the time. He's like, I have 2 eyes. I can't pick which one is my favorite. I'm like, yeah, you can. Which one has astigmatism and which one doesn't? Like, that's literally the answer to the question. I really appreciate you guys bringing me on here, though. I've been like, I've been waiting for the request, and I'm so glad that we got to have a conversation.
No, you might be one of our regulars now. I'm really enjoying this conversation. So yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I've wanted to get you on for Miss Marvel, but we had so many people. There was a lot of people I wanted to come on for Miss Marvel, but then like once we got Sagar and like the VP, we're like, okay, we got to make room for them. But I was like, I had you on my list, and I was just waiting for the right opportunity to come to have you on the show, and I'm really glad it was this one because this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Love you.
All right, guys. That's all we have for today's episode. Hopefully, you guys can see us again next week. Hopefully, I'll have a better setup and stuff. But till then, guys, Salaam, nerds.